Legislature to order, and I'll ask our DA, Secretary Carpenter, to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First, the chairman goes in standing.
Yeah, we're going to do a little something different, but we'll do it. I'm going to ask that we stand in reflection and prayer for what happened last week in Herkimer County, specifically the villages of Herkimer and Mohawk. Would clerk please call the roll?
Hartman. Rose. Schrader.
Here.
Manise. Here. Johnson.
Here.
Pender. Hyde.
Here.
Krasinski.
Here.
Mano.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Bono.
Here.
Ackerman.
Here.
Kaplinsky.
Here.
Horst.
Here.
Russell. Shaw.
Here.
Weekly. 13.
We have quorum. I'll dispense with the regular order of the session and make a motion to act on resolution number 84, which is a special resolution that's placed on your desk. Can I ask the clerk? Description? Yes, please. If you would read the whole resolution.
In memoriam and recognition. Whereas on Wednesday, March 13, 2013, tragedies occurred in the villages of Mohawk and Herkimer caused by a senseless act of violence. Whereas the violence that started with a fire and escalated to a shooting spree, with 4 men being shot and killed and 2 being seriously injured, has shocked and saddened not only all the residents of Herkimer County and our surrounding communities, but has been felt nationwide. And whereas we mourn the loss of the deceased, Harry Montgomery, Michael Renshaw, Michael Rensier, and Thomas Stefka, who was a former employee of the county. Whereas the Herkimer County Legislature wishes to express its deepest appreciation for the professionalism and heroism of law enforcement agencies who responded at all levels, including all local police officers, the Sheriff's Department, the New York State Police, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, whose combined resources protected our employees and public from any further harm, and were able to bring the standoff to a close. Now therefore be it resolved, we commend and honor the heroic acts of FBI K-9-8, who lost his life to protect his partners, and resolved that in memoriam and recognition of this tragic event and the loss of precious lives in our community, the legislature encourages all residents of Herkimer County to recognize Monday, March 25th, 2013 as a countywide day of remembrance. We take time to offer thoughts of healing and prayer for the victims and their families, and to express gratitude for all our local, state, and federal law enforcement and emergency responders for their monumental support.
This resolution is in memoriam of the victims and in recognition of the responders to this tragic event in Herkimer County on March 13th, 2013. I'd like to make the motion and would ask that we have a unanimous second by the entire legislature without objection. So noted. Before we go into comments by legislators on the events here, I just want to read something, and you could add on to this when I'm done. On March 13th, 2013, the tragic event took place that resulted in the death of 4 Herkimer County residents and severely injuring 2 others in the villages of Mohawk and Herkimer. This senseless loss of life has resonated around the world. Our hearts and prayers go out to the families and friends of the victims, and our thoughts of healing for those that were injured. In recent days, the residents of our great county have come together in many ways to help one another mourn and begin the healing process. Let us be consoled by our faith in God and asking Him for the strength in helping us to get through this. Also lost in this event was a K-9 unit team member from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. His name was Abe. He was on his 2nd assignment with the Special Operations Tactical Unit of the FBI. He died in the line of fire protecting his partners and fellow officers as they went into engage the suspect who initiated these horrific acts. He died a hero. Our countywide condolences will be sent to his handlers and agency. This overwhelming support by local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies was professional and exemplary during this siege of terror. We should all be proud of these brave heroes. We should not take these professionals for granted as they thrust themselves into harm's way while knowing if they would see their loved ones ever again. Seeing the situation unfold firsthand, I would like to publicly thank each and every first responder that took part in the operations that day. Your bravery and call to public duty are greatly appreciated and reassuring to the community in these troubled times. It was estimated that 600 first responders were on the scene, with hundreds of others behind the scene in support roles. It was immensely impressive, to say the least. The agencies involved, to name a few, were members from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, New York State Police, U.S. Marshals, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, even the U.S. Postal Service sent special response teams, along with many others. I may have forgotten a few, but a complete list is in the making, so that recognition will be duly given at the appropriate time. Thank you for all that they did. I would be sorely remiss if I did not mention our first line of defense, our local law enforcement agencies that responded initially to this nightmare. As a community, we should not sell them short in their capacities as primary response providers. These brave men and women are nothing less than heroes, as they are called into unknown and dangerous environments on a daily basis. For that, I cannot express my thanks enough. Locally, I want to thank all the local Valley Police Departments, in particular the Herkimer and Mohawk Police Departments, who bore the brunt of this. I'd also like to thank the Herkimer and Mohawk Fire Departments and EMS personnel that first arrived on the horrific scene. You're to be commended. Thank you, Chief Malone and officers for both departments for your professional and swift response. I would also like to publicly thank Sheriff Farber, Under Sheriff Treen, and all of our deputies for the response and concern in the matter. While providing manpower on the scene, the sheriff also provided protection for over 400 county employees in several locations as they were placed on lockdown for their protection. Thank you, Sheriff Farber. To those employees and department heads that were placed on lockdown on this tragic day, I want to thank each and every one of you for understanding and following directions so as we could keep you safe and out of harm's way. As I walked throughout the building that day, your expressions of concern have not gone unnoticed. Thank you all. Also, I would like to thank our Emergency Services Director, Mr. Bob Vanderwalker, for his help in providing countywide resources in the matter. Your knowledge and expertise in your department is greatly appreciated. From the beginning and throughout, you were there. Thank you, Bob. I would also like to thank our District Attorney, Mr. Jeffrey Carpenter, and his staff for the professional way in which they handled the matter. As your investigation continues in the coming months, I hope that you can find a reason why this senseless tragedy occurred so that we can help those in need of heal. In all the drama, I want to thank you for keeping us informed of the events as they progressed. We have a great resource in your department, and your staff are to be commended. Thanks also go out to the clerk of the legislature and our deputy clerk of the legislature, Mrs. Lalonde and Mrs. Deming. Also thanks to Ms. Brittany Cotton and Mr. Wallace's clerk for their efforts in the situation. These three individuals showed caring, compassion, and knowledge in a time of horror. They were instrumental in helping us set up a command post here in the legislature and notifying the agencies and departments that needed to be notified. Thank you, ladies, for a job well done. I'm proud and humbled to have you on our staff. Also, a special thanks to County Attorney Rob Malone for offering his advice in critical matters in the situation. Mr. Malone saw firsthand the impressive display of professional conduct by the contingent of trained individuals at all levels in a time of need. Rob, thank you for being a partner for 2 days. Lastly, to the entire Herkimer County community, and in particular the villages of Herkimer and Mohawk residents. Thank you for your outpouring of support to the victims and their families. In a time of crisis, the Herkimer County community should be very proud of the way it pulls itself together to help their own. Traditionally, Herkimer County has always been generous with helping others in need. However, it is our turn to accept the prayers and thoughts of not just the state and the country, but the world as well as we heal in this tragedy. In the coming days, we must confide and console one another and show sympathy and compassion for those who need it. I want to say, I can't say thank you enough. This doesn't happen every day. You know, we can say that, you know, it happens elsewhere, but we have to scratch that off our list now, because it happened here. I'm just dumbfounded by the support that we've gotten, and the professional manner that everybody handled it. So, there will be a time of remembrance. I talked to Dr. Murray this morning. We plan on doing something possibly up at the college. The college is going to be partners with us. We will have a day of memorial and a day of recognition for those who served during that time. So I'll open up floor to for comments by any other legislator. Okay, thank you. We'll move on. Yes, can we, the motion was made in second. All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. Pursuant to Rule 8, are there any objections or corrections to the minutes of the February 13th meeting? If there are none, I'll order them approved. Reading in full of claims disallowed by the auditor and presented for audit by the legislature. And there's nothing on the desk. We'll now have comment period by the residents, and I believe there are no residents signed up to speak, so we'll move on. Communications received by the legislature and the committees to which they have been referred are listed on the agenda. Does any member of the legislature request mention of any particular communication? Mr. Hartman.
Number 107.
Clerk will read 107, please.
107 is a postcard from the town of Newtown. And it reads, "On behalf of the people of Newtown, thank you for reaching out to our community. Your voice has been heard and your caring is deeply appreciated."
Any others? And we'll move on. Pursuant to Rule 6, number 8, reports of standing committees. I'll ask that any committee chairperson who wishes to report or make remarks on progress, please raise their hand at this time. Mr. Mann.
Mr. Chairman, we had a joint Education and Ways and Means Committee on two resolutions that the Herkimer County trustees approved and sent to us for approval. And we have Resolution 79 coming up and Resolution number 80 coming up. Number 79 is for architectural services for the renovation of the Robert McLaughlin College cafeteria and alumni hall. For cost of the architectural services are going to cost $112,700. And number 80 resolution will be for pool filter and equipment replacement. That one is going to be $120,000, and there's no county money involved.
Okay, thank you. Any other committee chair? We'll now continue with the consent agenda. Will the clerk please read the title of each resolution on the consent agenda?
59 is Natural Resources with the annual report of the Director of Weights and Measures. 60 is Planning and Development concerning membership on the Workforce Investment Board. 61 is Ways and Means transferring funds. 62 is Natural Resources designating a member to the Sewer Board and approving the appointment of the chairman of the board. And 63 is Ways and Means connection with contract with State Office of Court Administration for cleaning and minor repairs.
May I have a motion? Mr. Shaw, second by Mr. Hyde. Any debate? All those in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Before we go on, we have some students here. I want to make sure we get to them. And if I could ask the students just stand up, state your name and where you're from. And are you a student, sir?
Nick Chigarelli, and I'm from Herkimer.
Good, thanks, Nick.
My name is Hannah Phillips, and I'm from Mohawk. I'm Megan Moore, and I'm from Mohawk. I'm Caitlin Banks, I'm from Mohawk too.
All right, very good. Any other students? No. And they're from our Cornell Cooperative Extension program. So, welcome, students. We hope you get an education tonight. And I'm going to have Rob Malone, our county attorney, do his traditional speech on why we have certain, we have either a voice vote or a roll call vote, and you'll notice that in the agenda tonight. So, Mr. Malone, if you would.
Okay, Mr. Chairman. We're already on page 3 of the agenda, and we've started on the consent agenda. The It's at the bottom right corner, and then if you look over on the far right column, it says voice, voice, voice. And turn the next page, and you'll see where it also says roll call. And the chairman usually likes me to explain why it's stated that way. That's the type of voting that's going to take place. And the chairman asks for a vote, and it's a voice vote. It's all in favor, say aye. All opposed, say no. That's a voice vote. However, a roll call vote means that each member of the legislature's name is called, and they are asked to vote yes or no. So it's an individual record of each of their votes. And the law requires that in resolutions which have a great fiscal impact, a potential great fiscal impact, monetary impact on the taxpayers, that there is a roll call vote required. So you'll see that's going to happen automatically. In addition, any member of this legislature, even though it's scheduled for a voice vote, can ask for a roll call vote. If they want to hear what an individual legislator's vote will be there, any one of them is entitled to that. So they may or may not have them. So also.
Any questions? Yeah. All right, now we'll move on with the regular agenda, starting with number 64.
Human Resources, Ways and Means, awarding contracts for Meals on Wheels and condiment meals for West Winfield area.
This resolution awards a catering contract for Meals on Wheels program for the West Winfield area to the Red Door Dairy Store. May I have a motion? Mr. Poplinski, second by Mr. Shaw. Any debate? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Resolution will pass. Number 65.
Ways and Means, extending contracts for grants and administration veterans affairs also.
This resolution authorizes grant extensions for the Board of Elections grants as listed. May I have a motion? Mrs. Manine, second by Mr. Johnson. Any debate? All those in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Number 66.
Admin Veterans Affairs, Ways and Means, establishing payment amounts to election workers.
This resolution establishes payments for the election workers titled as listed. May I have a motion? Mrs. Manine, second by Mr. Johnson. Any debate? Clerk will call the roll.
Manine.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Hyde.
Yes.
Brzezinski.
Yes.
Mano.
I abstain because my wife is an inspector.
Smith.
Yes.
Bono.
Yes.
Ackerman.
Yes.
Kaplinski.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yeah.
Hartman.
Yes.
Schrader.
Yes.
Oh, Course. I'm sorry, Dennis.
Yes.
All set. Resolution passes. Number 67.
Ways and Means, authorizing contract in connection with countywide cost allocation plan.
This resolution authorizes a contract with Jack Vineski and Company to provide professional services for indirect cost recovery for the years 2012 to 2014. May I have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
By Mr. Corr, second by Mr. Poplinski. Any debate? Mr. Hartman.
Could someone please explain what Mr. Vaneski is doing and what is meant by indirect cost recovery in lieu of rent?
Vernon, can you?
Yeah, indirect cost is lieu of rent is, we put together a thing based on the amount of money that's paid for debt service when we built the county office building. And other costs, including maintenance, repairs on the building, all that is rolled into it. And anything that's not paid directly to the county as rent is then figured in with other costs for, not fringe benefits, but those kinds of costs. And the indirect costs, because they're not paid directly. And when we charge departments like the Department of Social Services, which receives federal and state reimbursement, then they can claim that cost and receive federal and state reimbursement for a share of that cost that the whole county incurs, that their share gets reimbursed based on a prorated basis. So he determines, we have to have a professional come up with that report.
Any other comment or debate? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Resolution will pass. Number 68.
Highways and Ways and Means authorizing contract for engineering services, Hawthorne Road over Sterling Creek.
This resolution authorizes an engineering contract in connection with the Hawthorne Road over Sterling Creek Bridge replacement project. May I have a motion? Mr. Corr, second by Mr. Poplinski. Any debate? Mr. Hartman.
I assume we bid it, and we put these out to bid, correct, or no?
Mr. Ioannick?
The original design of the project was, request for proposals were received from 3 consultants, and Bartlett Judas was the low consultant for the proposals.
Thank you.
Any other debate? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Number 69.
Highways and Ways and Means with a contract for engineering services for the Bush Road project.
This resolution authorizes an engineering contract in connection with the Bush Road over Sterling Creek Bridge replacement project. May I have a motion? Mr. Corr, second by Mr. Ackerman. Any debate? All those in favor, aye? Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Number 70.
Ways and Means making appropriation of funds from the county road fund balance.
This resolution authorizes an appropriation of funds as listed from the county road fund balance. May I have a motion? Mr. Corr, second by Mr. Ackerman. Any debate? All those in favor, aye? I'm sorry, roll call. We didn't get it now. Clerk will call the roll.
Schrader.
Yes.
Manine. Yes. Johnson.
Yes.
Hyde.
Yes.
Krasinski.
Yes.
Piano.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Bono.
Yes.
Ackerman.
Yes.
Kaplinski.
Yes.
Corse.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yeah.
Hartman.
Yes.
13.
And the resolution passes. Number 71.
Highways awarding bid for purchase of equipment.
This resolution awards a bid for the purchase of a used dump truck for the Herkimer County Highway Department. May I have a motion? Mr. Corr, second by Mr. Shaw. Any debate? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Number 72.
Highways and Ways and Means approving lighting energy program.
This resolution approves a lighting energy conservation program for the Herkimer County Highway Department. May I have a motion? Mr. Hyde, second by Mr. Poplinski. Any debate?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
can we have Jay bring us up on this? This is a good program, and I think everybody ought to be informed about it.
Mr. Yuan.
Yep. This is the lighting energy conservation program through National Grid. The plan calls for 235 bulb replacements and fixture modifications to accept those bulbs. We expect to save around $9,200 a year. The payback on the project is 18 months. So within 18 months after that, we'll be making money on the savings, approximately $9,200 a year. The total cost of the project is $34,137. Herkimer County will be paying approximately $13,700, and National Grid will pay $20,473 of that capital investment.
Mr. Brzezinski. Close.
Yeah,
Mr.
you're
Brzezinski.
Mr. Chairman, could or would NYSERDA be involved in this because they're interested in saving energy, you know, that type of thing too?
Jay, is
Could
this-
we've gotten any money from them, Jay?
Through this program?
Yeah.
I don't know. National Grid is sponsoring this program. I don't know what NYSERDA would be involved in and how they would be involved in it.
Because they're interested and concerned about energy projects too.
Right.
Yep.
Bernie, maybe Bernie could say a little bit of something about that, because we talked about that today too.
Basically, you're talking about the clean and green energy program that they've got. In fact, we had a meeting in the college a while ago. They're gonna come up with proposals that people that want to put projects into the, I think it's a 6-county area, and then NYSERDA will help fund these projects to cut energy use or whatever else.
I wonder if we could have contacted them.
I believe NYSERDA is the pass-through, that you start with them, and then they divert you to the provider of your electric or gas rate. So
I
it's-
believe, Mr. Chairman, National Grid's funding source is through a NYSERDA grant.
Right.
Or portion thereof.
So it's tied in.
In fact-
Eventually, it'll be tied in, John.
The program that John's talking about, they'll also seek out different sources of funding for different projects. They possibly could go to the National Grid or other power companies.
there anyone else? Jay, thanks for enlightening us.
But,
Motion was made and seconded. Any more debate? All those in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? Resolution passes. I'm doing a show at the DMV at 10, by the way. Number 73.
Highway authorizing conveyance of property to abutting property owners.
This resolution authorizes conveyance of property as listed, which is no longer needed for highway purposes to the owners listed. May I have a motion?
So moved, Mr.
Mr.
Chairman.
Corr, second by Mr. Ackerman. Any debate? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. Resolution passes. Number 74.
Natural Resources, Ways and Means, calling for a public hearing and consideration of expenditure for the cost of a project of the sewer district.
This resolution sets a public hearing for April 3rd, 2013 at 1:45 on the cost of replacement of equipment for the Herkimer County Sewer District. May I have a motion? Mr. Hyde, second by Mr. Shaw. Any debate? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. Resolution passes. 75.
Planning and Development, Ways and Means, the lease agreement for the One Stop.
This resolution authorizes a lease agreement for the former Ward Building at 320 North Prospect Street for the purpose of housing the Working Solutions. May I have a motion? Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Poplinski. Any debate? All those in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Number 76.
Ways and Means for amendment of salary schedule in connection with mandated salary of district attorney.
This resolution amends the 2013 Herkimer County salary schedule in connection with the state mandated increase for the position of district attorney. May I have a motion?
So moved, Mr.
Mr.
Chairman.
Corr, second by Mr. Ackerman. Any debate? Clerk will call the roll.
Ackerman.
Yes.
Kaplinski.
Yes.
Corse.
Yes.
Shaw.
yes.
Hartman.
Yes.
Schrader.
Yes.
Manine. Yes. Johnson.
Yes.
Hyde.
Yes.
Brzezinski.
Yes.
Yes.
Mano. Smith.
Yes.
Bono.
Yes. Resolution passes. Number 77.
Human Resources, Ways and Means concerning contract in connection with Healthy Families Program.
This resolution authorizes a contract with the Family Nurturing Center in connection with the implementation of the Healthy Families New York branch. May I have a motion? Mr. Smith, second by Mrs. Manine. Any debate? All those in favor, aye? Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Number 78.
Human Resources, Ways and Means for the termination of a lease in connection with Healthy Families.
This resolution authorizes termination of the lease for a program space in connection with the Healthy Families Program. I have a motion. Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Poplinski. Any debate? All those in favor, aye? Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Number 79.
Education, Ways and Means approving agreement for architect at the college.
This resolution approves a contract for architectural services for the renovation of the Robert McLaughlin College Center cafeteria and alumni hall project at the Herkimer County Community College. May I have a motion? Mr. Mano, second by Mrs. Manine. Any debate? All those in favor, aye? Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Number 80.
Education, Ways and Means establishing the pool filter replacement project.
This resolution establishes the pool filter and equipment replacement project at the college and awards a contract for the said project. May I have a motion? Mr. Mano, second by Mr. Ackerman. Any debate? All those in favor, aye? Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Number 81.
81, authorizing contribution to defensive assessment challenge of 5 parcels in the town of Herkimer.
This resolution authorizes a contribution to the defense of an assessment challenge for 5 parcels in the town of Herkimer to share the cost of the court's ordered appraisal. May I have a motion? Mr.
So
Corr,
moved, Mr.
second
Chairman.
by Mr. Poplinski. Any debate? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed, nay. Resolution passes. Mr. Wall has a correction.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, just noticed that going back to Resolution 74, that the notice of public hearing that's attached, the last sentence of that notice of public hearing will not be included in the notice. It's now been determined that this is a type 2 action, not requiring any action by the legislature, so I think a motion to amend notice of public hearing would be appropriate.
May I have a motion to amend number 74 as described by Mr. Malone? Mr. Hyde, second by Mr. Ackerman. Any debate on that? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. Resolution passes. Thank you, sir. 82. Yes.
Ways and Means, Education, Natural Resources, authorizing issuance of bonds, refunding bonds.
This resolution authorizes the refinancing the bonds as listed for the Herkimer County Sewer District and Herkimer County Community College. May I have a motion? Mr. Shaw, second by Mr. Ackerman. Any debate? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
I'm sorry.
Roll call.
It should, I have voice, but it is a roll call, okay. Clerk will call the roll.
Kaplinski.
Yes.
Corse.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
Hartman.
Yes.
Schrader.
Yes.
Dean.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Hyde.
Yes.
Krasinski.
Yes.
Nano.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Bono.
Yes.
Ackerman.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Number 83.
Planning and Development relative to appointment of member of Oneida Herkimer Solid Waste Management.
This resolution appoints myself, Vincent J. Bono, as representative of the Herkimer County on the Oneida Herkimer Solid Waste Management Authority. May I have a motion? Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Poplinski. Any debate?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
first of all, thank you for stepping up. But for our interns, the Herkimer Oneida Solid Waste Authority is made up of 10 members. 7 come from Oneida County and 3 come from Herkimer County. And we presently have a vacancy, and you've offered yourself as opportunity to serve. And so that's why this resolution has come about. And also, Mr. Chairman, if I could dovetail in on the speed with which we've gone through these resolutions as far as the interns are concerned, that we've had committee meetings and discussed all of these issues at length. So this isn't just a rubber stamp type of thing, so I thought you might want to know that.
For the record, I believe Mrs. Benini gave an update to the students today on how the committee system works, so, but we appreciate the comments. Motion was made and second. May, any debate more? Those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? And I'll abstain. Thank you. Now go to comments by legislators. Is there any legislator make a comment? Mr. Hart?
I just wanted to mention that someday the Mohawk American Legion Sunday the 24th will be a benefit program for the families of the victims of the shooting. Anyone would like any information on this, or be willing to donate? I've got the information. We would like to contact Rico when he signs up, have some copies of the lease. Thank you.
By the way, we've asked legislators to put together baskets, and all the departments in the county are putting together baskets, and Mrs. Fox is in charge of it. I want to thank you, Kathy, for taking the lead on that, and you know, noble cause. So, again, what Gary said Sunday at the Mohawk American Legion, also, they have the same event. It's coordinated with the same at Francesca's. The auction, I believe, is at Francesca's, and the benefit is at the Legion. So if you get a chance, please go and support that. Anyone else on comments? Mrs. Manning?
Yes, I just wanted to let everyone know Catholic Charities was going to have a charity celebrity waiter breakfast on the morning of the 28th, but in lieu of the benefit, we didn't want to distract from everyone's participation in that, so we have moved it to next month, April 28th. And if anybody is interested in tickets to that or raffle tickets, I have them. Thank you.
Anyone else? Mr. Shaw?
Just want to remind everybody of the conservation supper on the 25th. And I'd like to personally thank you for your involvement in this. I know it took a lot of your time away from your family. You thanked everyone else. I think you deserve
Thanks,
thanks too.
Appreciate it. Would anyone else like to make a comment? Mr. Carpenter, would you like to say a few words about the day?
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I just want to personally, I think I would be remiss if I did not personally thank several people in this room for obviously their participation last week. Sheriff and the undersheriff who were there throughout the events, Mr. Vanderwalker who was there. I think that one group that hasn't been mentioned yet is the 911 operators in the center up there. I think they did an outstanding job, and we need to recognize them as our county employees. So, Mr. Vanderwalker, if you would take that back to the center, I would appreciate it.
I will. They did a great job.
They did outstanding, and communications was an issue. We went through it, and I'm very pleased with the work that they did. Our attorney. I saw him throughout the events with us. Mr. Bono, I also join in thanking you. You were there, I think, through the entirety of the event. I appreciated your support. There's a couple of pieces of information that have not yet been released to the public, but I'm at liberty to tell you now, just so this board understands the gravity of the situation, that at the time the threat was neutralized on March 14th, he still possessed 50 live rounds of 12-gauge ammunition on his person. There were another 45 live rounds in his Jeep, and we all know that he certainly shot many rounds, but this was an event that could have had an entirely different ending if it weren't for the response of the law enforcement that we've all thanked endlessly, and obviously, we are grateful for the response. And one other piece of information, the dog, Canine 8, 8, his name is actually an acronym. I'm not at liberty to tell you what that stands for. The FBI has that as a classified piece of information, but I can tell you he lived up to his name. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Sheriff, would you like to say anything? Bob? Sheriff, would you like to say anything, or?
No, just, thank you, Mr. Bono and Rob and Jeff, Bob, everybody worked together really well, and it was amazing to see the resources that were poured into our county in a very short period of time. We should all thank all those agencies who showed up.
Thanks.
There is one person, like you said, the 911 dispatchers really did a nice job. We did have a failure of a cellular system, which is being addressed with that company. But we really do have to thank, there was a young lady next door to Gaffey's Car Wash that instead of running and hiding, she collected valuable information. I don't want to release her name right now because I don't know if she would want that, but she really got into the forefront of the situation and provided dispatchers with a detailed description of the suspect's vehicle, himself, exactly what he did there, and his direction of travel, which I believe helped very much to lead to his cornering in the building down here.
So, I apologize for not hitting the 911 personnel up there, but I knew that I was gonna miss somebody, and I'm sure there's others that we missed, but thank you. I can't say that enough. And please, I've got a new appreciation for law enforcement, like I said before, and first responders. The public should not second guess these professionals. There's a reason what they do, why they do it, when they do it, and for, please, do not second guess. Ron Malone can attest to it. We were there, we saw it firsthand. Trust them. There's a reason they do it. And sometimes you can't say too much, but whether it's to wear the suspect down or whatever, it's done for a reason. So I went home that night, I watched the news, and I'm hearing newscasters, interject, and I'm hearing the public interject, and yes, you can talk about it, but a lot of it is just guessing. It shouldn't be done. Let it play out and let the professionals deal with it. So again, thank you, and we will have a formal ceremony within the coming month here, I would imagine. So, all right, anyone else? May I have a motion to adjourn? Mr. Mann.
I move we adjourn to Wednesday, April 3rd, 2013 at 2 p.m. That's our quarterly meeting, afternoon meeting. We're going to have a public hearing on the sewer district project bonding at 1:45 p.m.
May I have a second? Mr. Ackerman. All those in favor? Any opposed?